All right, guys, redoing this video on the Saturday morning. Fun stuff, but this is a very good one, so I'll redo it. It's not a watch list video where, you guys see the tickers, but all right, okay. So today we're going to cover accumulation distribution indicator. We'll use ADI as an acronym, and we'll talk about bullish and bearish divergences. All right, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use stockcharts.com. For this tutorial. You guys can feel free to use whatever charting tool you guys use. ADI is probably one of the most frequently used oscillators that traders use on a technical basis. So with that in mind, before I go into ADI, you should always use ADI with other indicators. You can use it with RSI, MACD. You can read candlesticks, obviously, and also your moving averages. Those are always good indicators to have, right? So the ADI is here on the bottom of my chart here, and you can see this ADI line. ADI line just tells you basically on a very elementary level is that if there's a sell-off, is it a high volume sell-off? Okay. Or if there is a run-up, is it a high volume run-up, or is it a fake run-up? Okay. A lot of times, the volume is going to actually be very seasonal, right? Throughout the year, obviously, if you're looking at towards the end of last year, EV, and I'm looking at FSR, by the way, Fisker, you can see that there was a lot of high volume run-ups last year towards the end of the year because of the EV hype, right? NIO ran up, FSR ran up, Tesla, etc., everything, okay? So in this scenario here, when Fisker, after a period of consolidation, it ran up from like $14 to $31, right? Because of hype, etc., the news. And how you can tell that that is a confirmed run up, right? Whenever you're thinking about entering a swing trade or you're playing the momentum, all right, you want to use the ADI to confirm that there is an uptick in the ADI, right? And this confirmed by the volume here and obviously the price. So that's a triple confirmation, right? And of course, when it's starting to sell off like this, okay, what's happening here? The ADI obviously is going down. So this is a very much what we call distribution, right? The sell-off. After every hype, it's always going to sell off, right? Now, I want to draw your attention to this low and this low, which is right here, okay, in this time period. You can see that during this sell-off down under $10 was actually not a confirmed sell-off. This is what we call a divergence. A divergence occurs when price moves in one direction, but the ADI is actually going in a different direction, okay? Or, for example, let's say right about here, okay? You can see that this is a sell-off, obviously, okay? But it's a low volume sell-off. So what happens? ADI is just going to go flat. Okay, so this is what we call a bullish divergence. A bearish divergence is when a price runs up like this, let's say here, and you can see the ADI literally going down. You guys see that? Okay, so this is what we call more of a low volume swing. Okay, people are just buying it back because it's cheap. All right, but there's not a lot of volume. Okay, so this would be a bearish divergence, and this would be a bullish divergence. Okay, so pretty simple to tell, right? All right, so what's happening now? You can see that the price is moving up slightly on Fisker, but you can also see that the ADI isn't really performing, right? So you have a pretty decent, right, bounce play, but we know this volume is quite low, right? So therefore, this is just it's possible that Fisker will go lower. All right, let's look at more examples as we go. We'll take a look at some of our current swings here. If we look at Tesla, okay, Tesla is very, very interesting, obviously, for very good reasons. Look at the sell-off from 900. I'm going to use my annotation once again. Okay, 900 to 539. Obviously, you don't want to get trapped in there, right? There's obviously not going to be if you bought shares at 900 and if you're holding it at if it dumps down to 539, you don't need any indicators to tell you that this is selling off, right? But check this out. It's interesting because from this period to this period, you can see that the ADI is actually headed into other direction. So this is what we call a bullish divergence. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that if you get trapped in this kind of scenario, you hang on to your shares, you can always buy it back cheaper. All right. This is why I'm saying in the beginning of the video to use other indicators as well. But see, this sell off was quite low volume, wasn't it? Okay. So therefore, what happened here? Shorts, bad news, etc. But people were holding on to their shares. Look at this ADI from May. Okay, and this is a confirmed move. Okay, because the ADI continues to rise with the price. Okay, so that's very important. All right, let's take a look at other examples. All right? Cancel this one. Let's take a look at Lucid in comparison. Okay, Lucid is struggling. I know. All right, but look at this. What's going on here? Okay, we're starting to pick up steam again a little bit here. It's starting to really bottom out on the ADI here. And if you can see this two new lows here that it made back in April, May timeframe, this is a confirmed sell, right? There's no divergence happening. Look at this. No divergence or a bearish divergence. You see that? Even this little pop here, ADI was still relatively low. Okay. Now, when it hit $16 back in September, this is a true move. Okay. Hope you guys see that. All right. Let's take a look at DATS on the daily. Okay. Right, just keep kind of giving you guys more examples here. So DATS is actually headed downwards, right? I mean, we see that. This was a confirmed sell-off, all right, confirmed sell-off. This was a lot of accumulation in this area. Someone was accumulating in this area, or some whales were, okay, ready for a big move. So nothing much to see there. Let's take a look at Fubo. Just giving you guys lots of examples using the ADI, okay? Now, keep in mind, I'm using other indicators as well, okay? 57 to what? Goodness gracious, 17. Yeah, all right, confirmed sell-off, right? Look at this rise in price from 10 to 35, goodness gracious. Look at the ADI just not doing much. It's okay, right? But you want to see high volume buys, right? Look at this sell off here. Okay, so this is confirmed right about here. All right, look at this rise in price. Oops. Okay, so yeah, am I long-term Fubo? Yes, I am. All right, but we obviously have like bearish divergence happening here. All right, but look at this stuff. This quadruple bottom play right here, and people were actually accumulating. Okay, so stocks they go through all these very different seasons. Let's take a look at one more. Let's take a look at FSL. And I know a lot of people are looking at FSL right now. All right. Now, when volume comes in, there's nothing that we can do, right? Obviously, volume is going to all of a sudden a sudden rush of volume, social media hype, etc. Then of course volume is going to be exponential. But you can see that this is still headed downwards, right? Because the ADI is still telling me it's headed downwards. All right. So is it a good time to get in SL? I don't know. But if there's going to be hype on it, yeah, I'll take a stab at it. But the ADI, this downward trend is confirmed. There's no bullish divergence here. Okay. If we look at these two tops right here, look at this ADI. Okay. Now, there is a little bit of pop in volume on Friday. It looks like some people started getting in on it. So we'll see about that. So this is a very good tool to start understanding, whenever you're in a long play, is the sell-off really confirmed? All right. And if you are in a play and it's ramping up really, really fast, is it confirmed by volume? Okay. And of course, you want to get out of the way if it's not actually confirmed by volume. So let's take a look at NXTP, for example. Okay, one more here. All right, and you can see that this is a confirmed move. We ran from $1 to like almost $3 or $4, right? So the ADI is just going wacky right now. And of course, there's some selling off and distribution because why? People, well, people are kind of dumping their bags or securing the bags. Is obviously right. They're trying to uh, uh, take profit, but you can't get scared just by that because we know that what RSI is pretty hot, right? So that probably needs to cool down. MACD is still on the rise. The price action is still on the rise, moving above moving averages, hitting a resistance right about here at the 370. You can see the resistance right here, all right? But really, the next stop is 5. Okay, so that's what I'm still banking on. All right, with that being said, have a great weekend, guys. Hope this video was fun for you, and go ahead and use this. This is good for swings as well. All right.